Well, hello, Hawkeye fans. An absolute heartbreaker in Kinnick Stadium this weekend. We're going to recap the entire game versus Oregon. We've got an awesome interview with Alex Marinelli because wrestling season is underway. And we're also going to be previewing the game versus USC coming up next weekend. Welcome back to Talkin Hawks, presented by Hills Bank.
No matter where you are in life, Hills Bank is here to help you succeed.
Whether you're buying your first house, saving for your child's future, or preparing for retirement, you can count on the people at Hills Bank for the support you need to reach your goals.
It's easy to connect with a banker in person, over the phone, or on hillsbank.com.
Because we believe banking is better through human connection.
Hills Bank is an equal housing lender and FDIC member.
Hey, Matt.
Hey.
How you doing?
God is good.
You're doing okay this morning?
Yeah.
This afternoon?
Afternoon when we record this, yes.
Well, I made a very conscious choice in my outfit today. Do you see this?
Yeah.
This is the Big Ten conference before Oregon and Washington.
2013 is probably when that came out.
So it's got Maryland. We have Nebraska. We've got, what's the other one? Rutgers. Thank you. They're in there.
2014, I think, is when they joined.
Oh, okay. They're in there. You know who's not? Oregon and Washington and USC and UCLA. They're not on here. And so that's what I wore it for. This is a big unwelcome to the Big Ten, Oregon. It's a very conscious decision.
Okay.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's great.
I thought it was cool. Anyway, well, that was a tough one.
Let's just recap before we get there. Let's talk about the entire weekend.
We should.
It was a pretty big weekend.
It was a big weekend. It was the 10-year anniversary of the undefeated 2015 team, which Matt always has to go back to when we're comparing teams to teams and players to players. Because it was a really good team.
Yeah, got to compare to one of the better teams that have come out of Iowa.
Totally. And it was really cool. On Friday night, we had like a reunion social, I guess, with a bunch of the guys, and a ton of them showed up, which was really cool to see. And then Coach Morgan said a couple of words about you guys. And his first thing was like, yeah, this wasn't a very star-studded group. And
Not a lot of superstars, but a lot of great players.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
But actually it was. I think it was a really special group just because it was always next man in mentality. Mm-hmm. Like you guys went through the ringer with running backs there for a little bit, like mid-season. And just a lot of guys that just played their butts off and always put in 100% effort all of the time, and not just for yourself or for the glory, but for the entire team as a whole. Right? Don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, that's why it worked. But there was, and Coach Morgan touched on this too, is that in 2014, we were kind of a sick football team. We were 7-6. We were 7-5 in the regular season, go down, get smacked by Tennessee. And it's one of those like, how are we going to right the ship? We were 8-5 the year before, lost in the Outback Bowl to LSU. And then to lose again to Tennessee. And for Iowa, it's always tradition versus innovation. This is what we've done for so long. That's made us a household name for the most part. And when I say household name, I just mean that like people know about Kinnick Stadium. People know that Iowa, what you're going to get. So you got to take that kind of tradition plus the innovation of how do we continue to be better and build on the things that we've had prior. And at that time in 2014, we'd lift in the morning at 5 or 6. Actually, it was probably like closer to 6 or 7. And then we'd come back and we'd be in the facility at 2:30 for special teams meetings, and then practice in the afternoon, and then be out of there by 8:30 or 9. And so we flipped the entire thing to where now you lift in the morning at 5, but you're also going to be there for meetings and practice, and then you're going to be out of the building by 11 a.m. You come back at night for an hour for watching tape, but the entire flip to, okay, we're going to go to this giant morning schedule. And you actually know where we got that idea from? University of Oregon. Along with that and the Fast Fridays, where Fridays used to be a complete walkthrough. Thursdays were kind of like we're on the field. We actually have helmets on doing things. And then Friday, we'd just be out there and just walk through our plays. Then it became Fridays, we are humming for 30 minutes. Like it is full speed, no pads. We're still just in shells, which are like padded Under Armour shirts, but we do have helmets on and like it is going. We're humming through the entire script as fast as we can in 30 minutes. And so that also came from the University of Oregon. So along with those types of things, and Chip Kelly was the head guy, I believe at that time. Now, I say that, I know the Fast Fridays came from Oregon. I actually don't know if the morning schedule did. That was a kind of a conglomerate, but the fact that Coach Ferentz, one of the most tenured guys, is like, hey, how do we change this so we can continue to move forward as a program. And then the buy-in that happened with that, along with the guys that were, and I use this word, but I don't want it to take away from it, is like playfully competing in terms of everybody's trying to elevate what they're doing, knowing that it should elevate the guys around them. Not, I want to elevate just myself. I want to elevate myself so that others can see it and then also meet that standard. And then that's what made that team so incredibly good.
Yes. So we got together with everybody on Friday night. And then on Saturday, you got to take Dax to the game. And we had the realization that this was the first Iowa football game you've been to in 4 years.
3 years technically, because I came when LaShawn was the honorary captain. But
okay, fair.
We sat up in the suite and Dax just crawled around because he was like 6 months old.
Yes.
But so this is the first time we were out in the elements, and he almost didn't make it to the time we got on the field because he was so cold. He had my coat on. So he had his long sleeve, he had a sweatshirt, he had his coat, he had a hat, he had gloves, he had pants, he had all the stuff, and then had my coat over top. Dad, I just want to go inside.
Oh,
no,
man.
we're staying out until at least we get on the field, and then you can.
That was crazy weather though. Like some of the worst weather I think we've had.
And I'd also say like that's an Iowa game weather.
Yeah, it was tough. But then yeah, you guys got to come out on the field and
we got to go into your arena.
Yes, stadium, not arena.
Sorry.
But yes, they recognized your guys' 2015 team, which was so fun just to see how you guys like lined up on the north end zone, which was really cool. And then I got to interview you. And I think, John, don't you think we could probably put the video on here? Let's do it. So yeah, super special. And I put this on like my Instagram caption that like, you haven't been to a game in so long to like even watch me do my job. It was so fun to just know that you were there and like in the stands again, because you just haven't been to anything in a really long time because there's just so many kids.
And before we had kids, I tried to make it to everything, whether it was women's gymnastics, if it was football, basketball, wrestling. I tried to make it to everything. And then kids, as great as they are, they also have to be taken care of.
Yes. And yeah, I just mentioned that in my Instagram caption too, which you already know all of these things. It's not like I've never said them to you and you just saw it on Instagram for the first time. But I mean, it's just so great that like you're the reason I get to do what I do every year, because I couldn't do it if you weren't willing to watch all three really young kids. There's not a whole lot of guys out there that would be willing to do that. So big shout out to Matt. And for all of you that say I'm too mean to him, I promise I'm not, right?
It's a facade she puts on for the podcast. She is nicer.
Yeah. It's just
she's nicer when you get to know her.
That's what
that's something people say.
It is.
Not about you specifically, but
no, it is.
Oh, just wait till you get to know them.
Yeah, no, that's what people say about me. I'm just kidding. All right. So yeah, it was a really fun time. Lots of really cool in-game elements that I think just provided a really good atmosphere. Fans were great, per usual, what we expected. I think honestly, if the rain and the cold and everything hadn't happened, I think maybe that would have been like an even harder place to play. Like, I mean, you got to really be into it when you've got your poncho on and all your stuff to cheer as loud as you normally would. That's just a tough environment for everybody.
It's hard to do a blackout. There's not a lot of black ponchos.
I know. Ponchos.
There's a lot of yellow ponchos in the stands.
Totally.
But it was really cool. Really cool.
It was very special. So, okay. Shall we talk about the game?
How long has it been? Do we need to wait till we talk ball? I know that
11 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, 12.
We both had caffeine before we came in. Yikes.
All right. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk ball. So before we left the house, Laura was like, I don't know why you're so confident, because I was feeling really good going into that game. And I said, it's going to be one of two things. Either A, we win, or B, it's going to be like 2017 Penn State, where it takes the perfect play to beat us. And that's what it was. That throw that got over TJ Hall probably should have been thrown a little bit further out, but honestly, perfect placement for where TJ was. Potentially, if he turns, maybe he picks it. But it's hard to expect him to run and turn and find the ball on that kind of because it wasn't a deep drop back. It was relatively quick. So TJ's doing what he's coached to do.
I feel like it's tough too, like to expect somebody to turn their head. Because like you turn your head, then you have your eyes off of where he's at. You can't turn it too early.
You have to hope.
Yeah, you can't turn it too early. Obviously, you turn it too late. I mean, that what happens.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, the turning of the head in that kind of situation, that's a big risk in my opinion.
No, agreed.
Right?
Agreed. Because you don't want to lose him.
Yeah.
You just don't want to lose your guy.
Yeah, offensively, Mark was off a little bit earlier, and there's some things that I don't think necessarily the normal fan thinks about, and this will come into play on special teams as well. But when the ball gets wet, it gets really heavy. That leather holds in a lot of water. So the ball comes out different, right? Because how much of a grip can you actually get? It's almost like hydroplaning, which I know your mom always tells you about hydroplaning.
She does. I've actually seen too where maybe you told me about this, where at practices where they think it's going to be rainy, they dunk the ball in water.
Yeah, they just straight up, it's like a 5-gallon bucket where they just take the ball, submerge it for a while, just keep going in and out, and then throw you the ball and stuff like that, just so you're as prepared as you can.
Gotcha.
A lot of receivers came out without gloves. TJ Hall didn't wear gloves for a while. So it's just like, there's only so much you can do to prepare for it until you're in that environment. So Mark was a little bit off early on, kind of threw a ball, I think, behind Jacob Gill, stuff like that. Run game was tough. Tell you what, their offensive line and defensive line, Oregon was ready. Like, I didn't know if they could have that kind of physicality over the course of 4 quarters, especially this deep into a Big Ten season where they don't have those types of recruits typically, because it's more of a Pac-12 team. Pac-12 teams aren't known necessarily for their strength up front. So to Oregon's credit, they did have that. We started to get some really good pass protection there late, as we showed, as we saw in the kind of the last drive there where we scored. But we had a lot of opportunities. The fumble, really sad. And I think kind of the main controversy on that fumble is not necessarily that he didn't fumble, because he clearly fumbled, but whether or not you could establish possession between your knees of the ball.
Well, it was really unfortunate too, because they called the play dead, and then they took the ball. And also, like, you watch him, he doesn't have any sense of urgency to grab the ball again. You know what I mean? So it's like he knew, like, oh, I'm down. I've got it. Like, the play is called dead. You know, like if he didn't think, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, he kind of just like sat there on his butt. The ball was in his lap and he's like, oh, well, I have the ball.
Well, it wasn't in his lap though.
Yes, it was.
It was in between his legs as he was on the, like, it's not a clear, and I think that's typically what they look for in a replay is like, is it a clear recovery? And the argument is, was it a clear recovery? All of Iowa thought we had it. Like, Gronowski called the next play on the sideline. They were ready to jog out there. And then he came back and said that it was overturned.
Yeah.
Is there enough to say that he didn't have possession? That I don't know. I'm not here to stir controversy, but I don't know if I necessarily 100% agree with that call.
I agree. I'll stir some no, I'm just kidding.
So I don't know for sure if that's great. And we're in the red zone. You know, we're coming away with some points there. So that changes it. Just little things that we didn't quite stack up enough of.
Well, that's the thing too. You always talk about, I feel like historically, you've always talked about Iowa playing good, clean, no mistake football. And then they just want the other team to make a mistake. And when they do, we'll capitalize on it. Unfortunately, we were the ones that made a couple of those mistakes that were costly.
That's right. It's like, I liken it to ping pong a little bit. The ping pong, I don't know if most of you have ever seen ping pong, but they like really hard. Yeah, but they're like overhand and like all this stuff. And then there's usually the other guy is just very defensive. And so like Iowa's just defensive, like, all right, just as one of these times you're going to go a little bit too hard, it's going to go off and I'm going to get the point. I'm just going to make sure I keep hitting it back to you. I'm not worried about scoring a point. I'm worried about you not scoring a point. And that's typically how Iowa plays until that last drive where we just went down and scored. But typically it's like, once you make a mistake, we'll capitalize. They threw the interception to Deshaun Lee. Great play that he got underneath there. But when you have those kind of mistakes, the snap over the head of Reese, and then the fumble, like those are two big mistakes in a big game. And the last one, that's the one that I think is the toughest to watch, was the 2-point conversion, because I felt like we had it. Kamari Moulton does a great job in finding the open space. Mark hits him, but instead of running underneath it, more so like a receiver would, I think he was trying really hard to not run out of the back of the end zone. But it led to him jumping, and because he jumped, and I talk about this all the time with speed agility classes that I'll do with little kids. You never want to hop when you shuffle, because you can't change direction when both feet are in the air. You can't do it. But if you have one foot in the ground, you can always have the ability to change direction. But when you jump, you have no hope other than just landing, and hopefully you land in the right spot. Indiana did a great job of that on their touchdown. But that's a receiver doing what a receiver does. A little bit tougher to ask a running back to have that kind of awareness in a situation that he doesn't find himself in very much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that totally makes sense. But let's go to special teams because Drew, you knew he was good from 60, probably even more. But when that thing came out, I was like, oof, like he kicked it toward the south end zone, which is where I was standing. And watching it come out so low was so interesting to see. It looked like it was going to get blocked or like it just didn't come off exactly right. And then it just got itself through the uprights. But that was really cool.
So you think about that. Think about how much heavier that ball is compared to what he's used to kicking. So that ball doesn't go 70, which I do think he can kick a regular football 70 yards. That one, he can't. So that's why that thing was so low. What's really nice is that Oregon tried to rush on the outside. They didn't rush up the middle. So we had that clear path, which surprises me because if it's a deeper kick, you're going to have to kick lower. We already saw what happened against us in Penn State, right? Where it has to be lower if you're going to try and kick it. So I'm surprised they didn't. Lucky for us. And then Drew Stevens was lit after that kick. It was great.
It was a record?
I think it ties.
It ties a record.
Ties a record at 58. But like that was something where you felt like, okay, these are things that are starting to roll Iowa's way. Definitely a sense of optimism as there should be. But to make that call to let him go out there and do it is really big. Special teams outside of just Drew Stevens. Our punt game wasn't the best it's been. Long snapper is not something that it's one of those things where if you're a long snapper, you hope people don't talk about you because it means you're doing your job really well. And if you have one bad snap, everybody talks about you, right? So the one snap was really high. Thankfully, Reese is like 6'5" and he caught the first one. The punt wasn't great because he was off rhythm, stuff like that. Second one does go over his head. We did get the penalty for him kicking it, but I thought that was the smartest play. I'd rather give up 2 points and let our defense go out there than to give up 7 right there. So I don't mind that penalty. He was trying to kick it out, which is probably what he's been coached to do. Like just take the safety. Like if you can't pick it up and punt it, just get it out of the end zone. Just take the loss.
Which I thought I didn't know that rule. Very smart, especially not being from the United States.
Yeah, we've seen Tori try to kick a ball twice.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I thought of when I was like, wow, great job. And then it took me back to, it was at 2020 when he...
Something like that, yeah. So unfortunately, and that becomes the difference, right? We had to go for 2 at the very end because we lost that 2 earlier. Now, there's so many plays across the game, right? There's 140 something plays, 70 offense, 70 defense, roughly, give or take a little bit. But so obviously it doesn't come down to those 2. But those 2 plays between really 3, between the fumble, the 2-point conversion, and the high snap. I mean, those 3 kind of get magnified just because of the relevance they had in the overall game.
Yeah.
But Caden Weegan didn't even get an opportunity. He got opportunities on kickoff return a little bit, maybe 1 or 2, but punt return didn't really have a shot.
Yeah.
They had a really good plan. Something that we haven't seen before. So I will do what's called a shield punt. So they'll do a center and then like guard, tackle, maybe a guard on the far side. And I use these terms. These aren't big guys, right? These are guys that are covering on punt return. And then a gunner on either side. And then you've got 3 big guys in the shield, basically like the last line of defense before the punter. What Oregon did, because they didn't want Caden Weegan to get anything and we didn't adjust. I don't know if they put it on tape before and I didn't catch it or if we just hadn't seen it. But they had the center. There should only be 1 guy there, maybe 1 or 2. And then they had 5 guys out over to 5 gunners. We only had 3 over there. Well, you're not slowing them down to go. And we didn't quite make the adjustment of whether or not we need to rush or whether or not we need to hold those guys up so Caden Weegan gets a chance. We didn't do either one. Now, we might have been in punt safe. I want to say they were close to plus 50 territory to where Caden Weegan, usually if you go punt safe, you don't have a lot of people helping you because punt safe is more to prevent a 4th down conversion. But that part was unfortunate because Caden Weegan didn't get an opportunity. So, but pregame even, he caught the one that Reese Dakin absolutely bombed at the end of warmups. But he was looking for it and he got down and he was like shaking his head and whatever because the rain probably got into his eyes as he's trying to track this ball. So it's already tough enough. It's just unfortunate he didn't get an opportunity in the return game where he is so dynamic.
No, I never thought about that. The rain just going straight into your eyes.
Yeah. And
terrible.
If you had a visor, I mean, it's just going to splatter all over the visor. It's not like that's necessarily going to.
Not really going to help.
Right.
Okay. Well, after that Mark's final touchdown, I think everybody was feeling pretty good, right? Like, I think it was minute 50 left.
Minute 54, I think.
Yep. So that was my cue. I was like, okay, saw that. Like, I'm going to make my way to my car. Like, I'm going to watch because they've got like on the concourse, they've got the TVs. So I'm going to watch as I walk. And so I was watching, and all of a sudden I see like Oregon fans leaving, and I see a bunch of students running to the student section, like, right? Like a bunch of people running to storm the field. And I was like, am I crazy, or is there still a minute 50 left for a really good Oregon offense with a top tier quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but like, we have an amazing defense too, right? Like, don't want to put that to the side, but also like that's no small feat for them. And so I don't know, it was just like a minute 50 left. I see all these people kind of like making arrangements, Oregon people leaving. I was like, what's going on? Am I crazy? And so, yeah, that was a bummer. It was a little bit like you were saying, Penn State 2017, but then also kind of that feeling of like Michigan State 2015 of like, so close.
Mm-hmm.
But that's tough. You got to put all that pressure on your defense. It's hard.
And our defense did play relatively well most of the game. They prevented touchdowns outside of the one, in which I had to go out and talk right after. But
I forgot they put you right there.
Yes. But for the most part, our defense played really good bend don't break. Gave up 3 field goals instead of touchdowns. The last drive there was a 10-play, 54 yards. Credit to them, they got the ball down. We talked about it right at the very beginning when we were talking the ball just goes right past his hand. Like really well placed ball, almost like going over Amani Hooker's hand in 2017, right? So that was unfortunate. But the way that I had actually gotten multiple texts from different guys, either guys that I play with or other guys that just enjoy football, were like, hey, I don't know if the rain's going to help us because Oregon has a really good run game. I was like, well, yeah, but I expect our defense to be built on stopping the run because that's typically what Big Ten teams do. Now, the difference is our secondary is more seasoned than the rest of our team, especially in terms of playing time. You think about our linebackers. These are both of their first year starting. Jaden Montgomery's done a lot of really good things. Carson Shire's done a lot of really good things, but they just haven't played multiple seasons like everybody on the back end has. So with that in mind, they really just attacked the middle of the field. Like there were 2 or 3 plays in a row where they just ran right down the middle, basically on either side of the center, and they got 12 yards, 15 yards. And it's like, that's usually not where the Iowa defense is softest, is in the middle. So to their credit, they ran the ball relatively well, which is why they started the 2-minute drive with a run play, because that's how they've been able to move the ball down the field. We did a really good job keeping Dante Moore in check. He didn't have a very good stat line against us. He just made the right play when it needed to happen. But that being said, I'm still going to take our defense against anybody. I think just on that one, for whatever reason, they attacked the middle of our defense, which is what helped them. So that's really the only difference, I think.
Anything else you want to say about the game before you get to your unsung hero?
I thought that the game plan was pretty good. I thought that we came in there ready to win. Like I truthfully do. I think this Hawkeye team. Now here's the thing that actually drives me nuts. Okay, so Iowa State, we lost by 3. Last second field goal. Indiana, we lose by 5.
That's 8 total.
8 total. We lose to Oregon
by 1.
By 2.
2.
Because they kicked a field goal. 16-15.
Yes.
18-16. 10 points total to what are going to be 2 top 10 teams.
Yeah.
Now, Iowa State, they finally won against TCU. They were on kind of a skid. They finally won this past weekend. But like, we are so close. And it's not one of those of like, oh, we're so close, but we'll never get there. It's like we are constantly there. It just happens to be on the other side for this season, right? Now, this doesn't mean we still can't get 10 wins. Still have an opportunity to finish the season 9-3. We're facing a really good USC team. We'll get into that after the interview. But we still have an opportunity to go 9-3 and then win a bowl game and finish the year with 10 wins, which again is no small feat. Take a look at Wisconsin. I mean, they were jumping for joy. They went into Washington and won, but like, oh, thank goodness for Luke Fickell. Like the amount of guys that went over and gave him a giant hug after a 6-game losing streak, like the players buy in. Think about that. Wisconsin was on a 6-game losing streak. You don't hear that, right? So I think it's good to take a step back and realize how close our teams always are. It's only a matter of time before 2015 happens again, because we're always right there with the top contenders. It doesn't matter who it is. Especially in season.
Signed a 4-star quarterback.
Yeah, 4-star quarterback committed on game day.
Signed, committed.
Yeah, on game day, and he was originally a Boise State commit. I think there's something happening in Iowa City where people want to come play. And I think that's it. We're always going to be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Just a matter of whether or not we get the 2 feet in on the 2-point conversion, or a snap doesn't go over the head, or whatever play you want to point to. We are always right there.
Totally. All right. Who's our unsung hero?
Unsung hero, brought to you by JB Roofing, is Coach Tim Lester. Because of the way that final drive was handled, it was a 3rd down, a 4th down, a 4th down. Like, these are gotta have it plays. Now, there's only so much that scheme matters because the players have to go out and execute. But having the right scheme with guys that are bought into the system is what leads to success. And on the first one, 3rd and 5 on our own 12-yard line, Gronowski finds 81 going down the seam. I said their safeties are going to be down. He splits them. They stayed down. I don't know if 81 runs for a touchdown, if the ball's thrown a little bit further, or if the corner comes off and makes a play, but a huge play. 4th and 3, we run a fake bubble that we've run before with Caden Weegan of like, okay, just spit it out there. It's kind of the triple option thing. And Caden Weegan runs his bubble. They kind of stock block. Somebody clears out. Reese Vanderzee comes right underneath him. Bang, catch, go down. 4th and goal. Got to have it. It's 15-10 with 2 minutes to go. What are you going to call? He sends everybody wide. Runs a QB draw. Now, there might have been some other reads that he could have had, like, all right, pre-snap, I can take here if I don't like this, right? We had something similar. And Gronowski runs it to perfection. Starts vertical, bounces out to the outside. They only had 3 down linemen and a linebacker spy. But the play calling on gotta have it plays, along with the trust of those players to go out and execute, leads to success. And that's why that drive, 93 yards in 6 minutes, when you gotta have it, I mean, that shows me that there's a lot of growth in this offense. It's just how consistently can we do that over time for the next 3 weeks to prove that this team can win 10 wins. So for that, Tim Lester, unsung hero, brought to you by JB Roofing.
Okay. I really like that one. He also seems like a good time, you know? He's got that like vibe about him. I actually saw him at the No Foot Too Small gala that I emceed during the bye week. Yeah, it was the Saturday of the bye week. And so he was there supporting him and his wife. And yeah, I mean, he wasn't doing anything crazy, just hanging out. But he just looks like somebody that would like, I'd like to sit at that table and just chat with him. He just seems like a nice guy.
I could see that. When he's over the booth, just.
Yes. And his wife is beautiful. So we'll just add that on there too. Okay. Well, we're going to get into our interview with Alex Marinelli. Okay. We'll be right back.
Need a new roof, gutter, or siding in Eastern Iowa? Call JB Roofing, a local and reliable roofer with over 20 years of experience. They do one roof at a time, unlike others who may juggle multiple projects and cut corners. They also serve a 45-mile radius around Kelowna and can help you with any insurance claims. No wait, call 319-656-ROOF or visit their website, jbroofingkelowna.com, for a free estimate. JB Roofing, the small-town roofer you can trust. Hey Hawkeye fans, Big Grove is proud to be an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Whether you're at the game or watching from home, Big Grove has got you covered. Enjoy an Easy Eddie from the stands or visit them for every Hawkeye game at any of their 4 convenient Iowa locations, whether that be Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, or my favorite, Solon. Cold beer, an award-winning game day menu, and warm hospitality welcome you and fellow fans as we root for the Hawks. Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Go Hawks.
Big Grove Brewery, an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Enjoy responsibly.
The Appliance Barn, a grand appliance company, offers a wide range of high-quality appliances at unbeatable prices.
Whether you're in the market for a new refrigerator, dishwasher, or washing machine, they've got you covered. They also have a delivery and setup department to ensure your appliances get delivered and installed quickly. To find out more, visit appliancebarn.com. Iowa City Tire and Service offers the area's best automotive repair while offering top-notch customer service and a unique environment.
They have beer.
And that makes them unique?
No, but they have a really big dog.
Again, does that make them unique?
I mean, they have cookies for their customers.
Not unique.
They have great t-shirts.
Still waiting for it.
They have arcade games like Dig Dug that I may or may not have the current high score on. Still.
What?
Okay then, Iowa City Tire and Service has over 640 5-star Google reviews, and ChatGPT even says it's the #1 choice in the area.
You know, now that you mention it, those guys are pretty great.
Check them out at ictire.com or give them a call, 319-338-5401.
Well, Talkin Hawks fans, I know we're technically a Hawkeye football podcast.
But we keep having wrestlers on.
We keep having wrestlers on, and we're not going to stop. And we've got one of the Iowa greats. Everyone, please welcome the Bull, Alex Marinelli. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Hey, we're super excited to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Mhm.
You know, I love football. So we were talking last night. I had wrestling practice last night, and I was just saying wrestling and football is just total different dynamic. You know, you're out on the mat, just you and an opponent, but then football, you got, 20 other guys that you're counting on, or 21 or whatever on the field. And it's like, it's just a different dynamic. So I love football though.
He's just trying to suck up for the podcast.
Yeah.
No, I like football. I do. I promise.
Football was my first love. I'm gonna be honest. I was thinking about it last night after we talked, and like, it was one of those things, like, I just love hitting people, and like, I was aggressive, and I do love the team aspect, like seeing your friends and wearing getting your football helmet the first day or whatever.
Oh, sure.
But breaking it in was tough. That was horrible. so yeah, but yeah, for football I thought I was going to play college football and then didn't get taller. So this is where I'm at.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll get into that, but the bowl absolutely sounds like a linebacker.
Yeah.
But,
That would have been cool.
Mhm.
Molly, you started off like we normally do.
Mhm.
Yes. So we normally start off where I know a lot of, especially Hawkeye wrestling fans, know a lot about you,
Mhm.
and your story's been everywhere, all over the place, all of the time.
Mhm.
But for this podcast in particular, we really like to start all the way back at the beginning just to get to know you as a person. Where are you from?
I'm from originally Miamisburg, Ohio. It's kind of near Centerville. So like AJ Hawks from there, Mike Nugent. So I'm
NFL guys.
Yeah, NFL guys.
Got it.
And then I grew up in a football town, and they had a wrestling program, but I got into wrestling when I was around 4. And then wanted to take my wrestling to the next level. Got introduced to a big club about an hour north of me. Jeff Jordan ran it. And that his program, he was my high school coach. We won the state the past 23 years in a row. So like for wrestling, it's like well known. We won the national title our junior year. So like, that's just like where I wanted to go to wrestle. Like if I had wrestled at a really good school. So did school online in high school, and then kind of commuted because we practiced twice a day. So it was like stayed with a buddy in high school who ended up wrestling at Oklahoma State. But yeah, it's just a really good, I've seen, but like both worlds, right? So like my 8th grade year, I switched to going to Graham High School, or like Graham Junior High, and but grew up in Miamisburg, playing football and wrestling a little bit. So, but yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have an older brother and then a younger sister. So my sister just graduated as like a not MRI tech, like an X-ray tech or something like that. So she's doing really well. And then my brother, he was in the Navy for a little bit, lives in Florida. So yeah.
How much older is your brother?
I want to say, so he's like 3 years older than me, 2 or 3.
Okay.
And then my
Close
sister,
age gap.
my sister was like 5 years younger than me. So yeah. So my brother, like we had school together, like we would go to school together a lot. But my sister, she was younger to where we didn't have like that overlap, which kind of stunk. But she was the athlete, and then my brother was like the smart kid, like didn't do athletics as much.
So what are you?
I was just gonna say, how do you fit in?
I hope a little bit of both.
There you go. Okay.
I hope I'm not the dumb jock. But my sister played softball. My mom, I think I got my athleticism from my mom for sure. Like, and not to like discredit my dad, but she played softball, was supposed to get a scholarship, and then blew out her shoulder and things like that. So she's always grown up was preaching, recovery and things like that. So because she didn't want, me to get injured like her. So,
All right. Okay.
but yeah.
Nice. So as being the youngest, you've got the youngest sister,
Mhm.
and her oldest brother's in the Navy, and then her next oldest brother is
Nobody's
a college
dating her,
wrestler.
is what you
I
think,
know.
right?
No. Yeah. So I've met some wrestlers that tried to date her,
Mhm.
and they were like, "Hey, like it was fun." I was just in Ohio at the Jordans camp, and one of the boys there that was counseling was trying to date her or something, and I was just like, he knew who I was. So like, it's like but like when you meet me, I'm like totally different than I am on the mat. So like it's I kind of like it because they think I'm probably some mean guy, but so it kind of protects them. You're right. So,
I also thought that.
yeah, exactly. But when you meet me, it's like I'm pretty normal. I try to preach to my club kids, like I'm kind off the mat, mean on the mat, like you, but in the rules, right? So yeah.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah. So my sister always had. I think if she would have known women's wrestling would have been such a thing, she probably would have wrestled like more, like because she would always wrestle me at home and stuff in the basements, things like that. But I think had she have known, like she could have gotten a scholarship and wrestled at Iowa, she probably would have pursued it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, which is kind of a bummer that she didn't. So.
Yeah. So with that in mind, you do have a daughter. Will she wrestle?
We'll see.
Yeah?
We'll see. I know that she'll want to. Like she's always like every time I wear like my HWA stuff for like just Hawkeyes in general. She's like, is that wrestling club? Is that like, so she knows, like she knows where I'm going. She knows that I'm going to go coach. And then when she comes and my wife will bring her, she just always wants to get on the mat and just do and like wrestle. She'll get in her stance and stuff. So we'll see. Like I'm already a coach. And if she does something else that like takes me away from wrestling that I can like just relax, that'd be kind of nice. Like softball or like, I like baseball. I like watching different sports and things like that. So if she wants to do something different, I'm not mad. Would you want to coach her in wrestling? Do you think? Probably. Yeah. Like if she wanted me to, I think she'd be all right. Like I think I think that I would be able to handle that dynamic as like dad and coach. But I think that because I've seen like obviously Nelson and Terry, how they handle it. And then there's just a couple guys that grown up, like if they want their dad to help them out and they're like receptive to it, then they're open-minded, they can be pretty good if their dad was pretty good too. So we'll see. Like my wife growing up, she didn't do sports. Her brother did. Her brother wrestled and she did 4-H, like show pigs and things like that. Okay. So if my daughter wants to get into that, I'm not mad about that either.
That would be nice and relaxing too.
Yes.
To watch, I mean.
Yeah. It's hard work. Like it's really hard work. It's almost harder than wrestling because like wrestling, you wrestle. There's nothing to it really, but controlling another animal and like making sure and then like feeding them and then cleaning them up and like it's a lot. That's a lot. Like, do you want to do it? It's type of thing. Like, I don't know.
The time that you would have to put into that would be a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Okay. So you said that you did high school online because you were practicing twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something that like your parents were like, hey, maybe you should do this? Or was that something that maybe you brought up?
Yeah, it's something that actually I got from my wife's family. They were homeschooled their whole lives. So Eli and Mariah were homeschooled their whole lives. And then when they got to like junior high school, Graham did this like digital academy where you could just like stay at home and do your curriculum. It's kind of like a first college. And so it gave me the opportunity to like open enroll and then stay in the off season at my house in Miamisburg. And then when season hit, I was like moving back to Graham, like staying with the buddy. But every day I'd be like with Mariah, like doing school. And then I could be done by, I don't know, 11 o'clock. And so I wasn't in the high school for 7 hours a day, which was really nice. So Eli and I would like, once we got done with school, we'd go out and do, play with 4-wheelers and things like that. Like just do kid stuff, which was really nice.
So you said that football was your first love.
Mm-hmm.
In 8th grade, sounds like you made the decision that you were going to go online and then pursue wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what was outside of your height, which don't let anybody talk about your height like that, but where did the fork in the road come? Like, how did you decide to choose that?
It's a great question. It's kind of funny. Like I met my wife in 7th grade and we started dating around that time. So 2011, we started dating. So we've been together ever since. And like she, honestly, like the being introduced to them and then like making that connection because she's from where I went to high school. And basically they just like opened this opportunity. Like they just showed us, hey, there's a digital academy and things like that. And then we're like, is this really an option? Can it? Because we were thinking about moving our whole family to Urbana, Ohio. And it'd just be really tough.
For wrestling.
Yeah. Cause like my dad has like a really good, like my mom and dad had a really good job in like the Dayton area. My dad's a firefighter and things like that at 2 stations. So like doing that and moving them would be really tough. So it was a sacrifice for my family and then myself to like go up to Urbana, Ohio and stay with a buddy in high school. But I think the fork in the road was like, okay, I like going to high school is a big deal. Like where you start is where you typically want to finish. And like, I just, made a decision with my parents and like, Mariah's family was like, hey, they got this, GDA is what was called Graham Digital Academy. And you're like, would you like to do this? And then, this could be an option. And then we decided to do it. So it was a really good decision. It was tough because in Miamisburg, I had a lot of friends, like just with football and baseball and wrestling, like it was really tough, but they understood like you've done pretty well in wrestling. So go do it. Like they were pretty excited for me. So I still keep in touch with them though, which is pretty cool.
Like I'm trying to think about this as like your parents.
Yeah.
So the oldest kid is getting ready to go to the Navy.
Yeah.
Your middle kid goes, I'm going to do online course where I'm going to live apart from you for in season.
There's a lot.
That's insane.
There's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
My parents went through a lot. They got to have is
right. My parents went through a lot and like they had a lot of just different like, times where good times and bad times and tough times. And it was tough. Like, cause they didn't see me a lot. And my sister, I didn't see her, as much. And my brother, and it was tough. Cause you grow up however many years tight knit. And then it's like, it kind of just like you go away for college basically. And that's kind of how it 14. Felt. Right. That's kind of how it felt to them. So but they knew I was taken care of and I was around a really good coach and I was around some really good people like my wife's family and then just my teammates. And it just made them feel comfortable. And they would obviously come to my competition and stuff and see me. But yeah, it was tough. It's tough.
And it's just crazy to wrap my mind around stuff like that. So then did you know that, like, I guess kind of what I'm getting at here is you said you wanted to play college football. And then you decided, like, at that point, was it, okay, I'm putting everything into wrestling?
Yeah.
Did you already have some ideas?
I actually played football my freshman year of high school. And
At Graham.
Okay. Yeah, and they were horrible. Like we were horrible. Not we were horrible. So we won like one game. And like, so I think they're getting better. I think their program's getting a little bit better. But I think that I just didn't want to give it up. And then I played like both ways and I started and it, like I was getting hit. And then my high school coach was like, you gotta like stop. Cause I was getting hurt and things like that. So it just was tough. Like my ankles were getting hurt all the time and like my elbows just from getting hit and you know how it is. So, but I made a decision after my freshman year to like give up football. And then I like just focused obviously on wrestling. But I played baseball my whole life too, until I was in junior high. Love that.
What'd you play?
I mean, like third base, typically like what you're going to do is like third base, center field, shortstop a couple times. Catcher. I love catcher, but because then you're like always in action. But Cincinnati Reds were like my team growing up. So still watch them. But yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of dynamics that people just don't like. Ellie De La Cruz. I'm a big fan of his, super fast on the Reds, but yeah,
it's always good to hear because you hear in youth sports and you probably have it a lot with HWA of like, I'm only going to go to HWA. I'm only going to do one sport and that's going to be it forever. But knowing that you did everything at least up until 15, which I think is kind of common.
Yeah.
So.
There a lot of the football guys we have on play, 3 or 4 sports in high school and then maybe their last year or something they specialize.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear that there's so many other sports that you can pull from.
Do what you want. Now, if you want to like go to national tournaments and freestyle tournaments in the summer, it's really tough to do baseball. Like it's really tough to do football.
Oh, just because timing and stuff.
For sure. Yeah. The demand of even the parents, like it's just so hard to handle. So like, giving up sports is really tough. And there's been some kids in my club that are just giving up baseball and it's tough for them to do, but I know that like they're getting to that age where it's like, that's what I did too. So I kind of like can like relate and kind of just be like, okay, if you want to do this and I see that you can potentially be a Division I athlete, like let's do it. But if you want to keep up with it, there were people that I've known that wrestled and played baseball in college. Kid named Matt McCutcheon, but McCutcheon that I think was at Penn State. So like just things it's doable. Look at Ben Keeter, right? I mean, it's doable, but it's really tough. I mean, you ask him, it's like just the demand for your time is just really hard. And then you don't want to feel like one team is getting let down. I mean, that's really hard too. So
the demand for your time and also the demand for your body.
Yeah.
Right. Because like you were talking with football, like it's different injuries that you're getting in that sport than maybe you'd be getting in wrestling.
Right.
Not to say that wrestling's injury free, but it's just different.
Yeah, in wrestling, they're pulling on your ligaments, and then in football, they're hitting you super hard. And then you're like, you maybe pull, like maybe you cut wrong or whatever, and your ankle gets rolled. Just things like that can be mitigated had you like given up one sport, I guess. But yeah.
The only reason I bring this up is Spencer was on too, and Spencer had talked about how his parents made him go out for cross country so that he got hungry to wrestle again. And it's interesting to hear. Especially when it comes to Iowa wrestling, people think that you must have been doing this your entire life and this is the only thing you do because this is kind of the pinnacle, right?
Yeah.
And it's good to hear that there's still a little bit of value in the breadth of sports,
diversity. Knowing
that you can get to here, but obviously you specialize at some point. But as a kid, I feel like it's important to get exposed to a lot of different things.
For sure. And it was tough to not go back. Like in high school, I remember my buddies from Miamisburg that I played baseball with were like, hey, come play on our summer team. And I'm like, that's kind of tempting. Like I miss it, but you gotta like, if you're sticking with something, you don't want to like, I don't know. Yeah. So I had to be consistent but it's tough. Diversity is, I think, very important with young kids. Like if I were to probably do it again, gymnastics was something that I probably should have done. Like just like the flips and your body control and things like that. Like I can't do backflips and things like that. I think my scrambling and wrestling maybe would have been better. Had I known like just a little bit better body control. But
interesting.
Yeah. But I didn't really like soccer a whole lot. I'm not a big runner. So I tried out soccer, tried out like, I was going to try out boxing, but my mom didn't want me to get hit in the face. So I chose to wrestle, which is kind of similar. It's kind of similar. It's pretty, but I don't want to get hit. So I'm not like a fighter. But in wrestling, like I'll fight you on the mat, but in boxing, like, I don't know, it's just different. So I was wanting to do that, but my mom was like, no way. So
It's so funny because I'm picturing, there's one picture, I know you know which one it is. I can't think of when it was from, but you had just like blood just all down your face.
yeah, I
and
lost that match. Yeah, it's okay though. It's okay.
Well,
but yeah,
see,
that's a good picture. That's
normal
like
people don't remember whether you
for
won.
sure, for sure. It's actually my only loss in Carver, but it's like that Penn State dual meet was good. It happened when Michael Kemmer beat Mark Hall, and then we won the dual meet. But I split pretty good. I had like 28 stitches in that eye, but just like a couple layers of stitches. Yeah, so it was tough.
Goodness.
Wasn't a position I was supposed to be in, and then got thrown, and then but ended up, which was nice. I ended up beating them at the Big Ten tournament that year, and that was the year that they canceled the nationals. So that was tough. That was a tough year.
Yeah,
that was a crazy year. So yeah.
Sometimes we forget, especially when we've got guys that are like, yeah, my freshman year of college was during like 2020, during all that stuff. And, you know, they're in the dorms, like can't talk to anybody, can't meet anybody.
Real tough.
Yeah. So crazy. So talk to me about your recruiting. What was that like when you were in high school?
I started getting recruited pretty young because I wrestled at, like I said, Team Jordan in Ohio. Jeff Jordan ran a bunch of, he still runs a bunch of camps in the summer. So like a bunch of college coaches can just go and like, just see what's going on and watch. And so like periodically, you know, in the summer, say in June or July, there'd be a college coach there. And one of them was Ryan Morningstar. And like, he just ended up seeing me. But as I got a little bit older, it was Ohio State and Iowa that were like the two that wanted to land me. So it's crazy. Not many people know, but like I did verbally commit to Ohio State at first because I had a lot of pressure to go there. And I'm sure like you've been through the recruiting process, right? You know,
a lot lesser than what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, but you went to the Hawkeyes, which is good. But like for me, I was like it was an hour away from Columbus was an hour away from where I lived. And my family really wanted me to stay in state. And there was a lot of just things going on that I was like, you know what, like I'll commit. And I just felt like I just didn't make that decision for myself, and then ended up going to Iowa City at some point. And then I'm a man of my word, which is tough to like go back on a verbal commitment. But I think a lot of the fans and a lot of people knew that Iowa was for me. So very, very thankful I made that decision. So
how did you know Iowa was for you though?
Yeah. I mean, I just felt like for one, I just felt that the style of the wrestling team was like mine, and a lot of other coaches that were trying to recruit me kind of knew that too. Like it was funny. So the Ohio State coach, Tom Ryan, he wrestled at Iowa. So like he was like, why do you want to go? I'm like, well, you did. Like he's like, why do you want to go to Iowa? It's like, well, you did. That's what I kind of told him. And it's like, you know, that's a tough thing. Like, cause if you want to go to the program that coach went to, it's like, how does he argue that the fan base isn't good? Or like, because they're Iowa and Iowa wrestling is like, yes, they hold you to standard, and they're very brutally honest at times, but it's like their passion and just Iowa wrestling as a tradition is what I wanted to be a part of. You know, I was growing up and I knew that they were good. I didn't really follow college wrestling a whole lot because I was a football guy. Like Ohio State football is where I wanted to go. So like I was a big Ohio State football fan, but Ohio State wrestling, I wasn't. And so like that was a tough pill to swallow for my family. So, you know, I just, Troy Smith, like all those guys. Oh yeah.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Ted Ginn.
Oh yeah. Like I just, like, that's just who I met. Jim Tressel. I went to the football camp in junior high, won the pump pass and kick competition. So that was cool.
You were a dude.
No, a little bit. No, had I gotten taller, I maybe could have done something, but no. I just think that, doing what for me, like obviously God, I'm a big man of faith, but like it's God's plan. And I think that I ended up here for a reason. And then my wife, she ended up loving Iowa City as well. And she's a grade above me. So she went a year after or before me. And I was in Graham, and it was just, I was kind of jealous because I was like, man, you're moving to Iowa City already. So, but it was kind of nice because I'd visit her periodically and things like that. So
is there a Tom and Terry story that like got you here? I feel like everybody's got a Tom and Terry story.
A little bit. I mean,
well, what can you say on the mic?
Yeah.
Maybe I should.
Yeah. True. No, like I think that I don't know. Just every interaction I had with them when I was young was just real positive. And when I was of the age that they could recruit me, they came to the Jordans camp one time, and they basically, like Tom did, and he wanted to go on a run, but then like drill with me a little bit. And he like had his wrestling shoes on the road, which he's not big on, but like he didn't have any running shoes or something that day. And we went for a run. And then right after we went in this like old red barn and we started drilling and stuff, but it was really cool. Like he could have contact with me, which was nice. And we could kind of spend that time together. And it was like me and him just like in this like old farm barn. Like it was cool. Like it was really cool. So
that sounds pretty Iowa.
Yeah, it does. But he loved it because it's like Graham High School, when you see it, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's in the country, and people think it's a Catholic school or like a private school because it's in St. Paris, Ohio. Graham is, and it's like, oh, are they private? Like, how are they getting these kids? It's like, we just wanted to be coached by a really good coach, and I didn't get recruited to Graham. It's just like, that's just where I wanted to go. But he loved the area, and that's why it was really cool to like have that memory with him of like, you know, he was like, let's go get a workout in. So we like ran and then worked on some technique, which was kind of cool.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I feel like I would be really intimidated to like, oh, it's just like go on a run.
Yeah, it was different.
Or does that not bother you?
Like I was pretty starstruck because I'm like, I'm running by. Like, you know, when like you get in a workout and you don't really think about like how you feel and stuff. You're just like, I don't know if you've ever been like that. Like I was just like running by him and I'm like, this is like Tom Brand's like, and then like next thing you know, I'm like done with the workout. It's like, it was just crazy. It all happened kind of fast. That's happened a couple times. Like when I was in college, Caleb Young and I were in Okoboji with him for a golf outing, and we needed to get a workout in, and we ran, and he basically drew a line in the dirt road and like a circle, and we just did hand fighting drills right there. Like, so we didn't need a mat. We just like ran, and then he's like, all right, so like with his foot, he just like drew the line, and then we just wrestled right there. Like, it was crazy. Yeah,
that's such a cool story.
Yeah. I'll never forget it because we're like trying to practice like not getting pushed out or like, you know, clearing ties and things like that. Like you can do a lot wherever you are. Like I could wrestle you right here. I don't need a mat, right? But at the same time, like if the memories you make is pretty cool. So
yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, we want to get into Hawkeye Wrestling Academy, of course. But before that, I just kind of want to like go through your college career, just kind of take me year by year and maybe go through like some highlights of each year just to kind of refresh everybody of what that looked like for you at Iowa.
Yeah. So, back in high school, I was a 4-time state champ. And so when you get, not to like brag, but just like to kind of like set it up. Yeah. Like I was, came in my freshman year wanting to start, and Tom ended up redshirting me, and like the coaching staff, looking back, that was the best decision. I mean, it's as a true freshman, there are a lot of guys that they're old. Now they're old. And it's like, cause of COVID and things like that. But like you got 23-year-olds and then you're coming as an 18-year-old. Some people can do it, right? Like Lincoln McElravy won as a true freshman when he was in college. And like, I wanted to do that. But looking back, it was a good thing to get me to grow because I had some rough tournaments my true freshman year at like the Midlands tournament. But then after that, you know, I made the semis my freshman year, my redshirt freshman year, and ended up not doing super good at the Big Tens. I think I took like 6th place or something like that. Not very good, but qualified and then made the semis, the national tournament, but then ended up not placing very high. It was like 6th place or something. So I All-American that year. And to some people, they're like, that's awesome. Like, but to me, I'm like, that's not good enough. Like I wanted to be a national champ. So when you go and you're a 4-time state champ in high school and then you lose like that, it's just like, you're not used to that. Like you like, but you hit college, it's just what happens like typically, but I wanted to be an Iowa legend. So after that, had a really good season. After that, ended up winning the Big Tens, was a 4-time Big Ten champ. So I had COVID year allowed me to have 5 tries at the Big Ten tournament. So people are like, hey, how did you place your freshman? I'm like, well, I had chance, which is good that I had a lot of chances, but ended up the highest I think I took at nationals was 5th place, but ended up the year we won the nationals. After COVID year, I ended up getting injured and I had to drop out of the tournament. So I ended up being technically like with the COVID year, a 4-time All-American, but like 3 legit. So like when you're like COVID, it was like they gave you an All-American if you were like top 8 seed. If that makes sense. Yeah, going into the tournament. I was number 1 seed that year. So like when I know that was one of the best teams I was really ever seen was the COVID year because we won the Big Tens. Penn State took 3rd, and like we had like 3 Big Ten champs that year. So Lugo, myself, I think Spencer won it that year. There were just a lot of guys, a lot of firepower. Like DeSanto was on that team. Like there were a lot of guys that like we would have won the nationals, I think, that year, and that was at the Viking Stadium, which would have been pretty cool. And then going into it after that, we end up winning the nationals. Like Spencer makes the finals and wins it. Kemmer makes the finals and takes second. And then Ironman took second. But like, I ended up not All-American. And like that just, it sucked. Cause like, I didn't get to like get on the stand or win it with my friends. And, but we won the team title, which was really cool. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, after that, All-American my senior year. And then, I was going to decide to hang it up like wrestling wise, but Tom saw that I could compete still. And I ended up wrestling the Olympic trials in 2024, which is really cool. So I qualified for that and wrestled and won a couple matches, but wanted to make that team obviously, but didn't happen, and then retired after that and got into coaching. So
very cool. Was it always kind of the idea that you were going to coach?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up, like I keep saying Team Jordan, but I counseled his camps every summer in high school. So like I would be like essentially a coach to kids 12 weeks out of the summer. So like every week I was like there. All summer. Yeah, it was. It was like, it was like Sunday to Thursday I would coach with like at his camps, and he would pay us. Like it was kind of nice because like as a high school kid, you're making some money, and I bought my first car with it, which is pretty cool. And then, but like that was just what I love doing. And like, obviously like, I just love how a coach can be a positive, mentor for a kid. And it's just like, you get a really good coach and you can do something really special in sports. So I'm a true believer in that. I feel like my passion is people. And like, that's like just my mantra is like, I think obviously my passion is wrestling, but like my passion is because I'm big in my faith, and I feel like every soul can be impacted like in a positive or negative way. And I feel like it's my calling to like be that positive coach for that kid. So I've always been wanting to coach, didn't know if I wanted to coach in college or at a college. I've had some offers, but staying in Iowa City was what my wife and I wanted to do. And having the Hawkeye Wrestling Academy in my youth club has given me the chance to still help with the college team. I still go in almost every day and then wrestle with the guys. So it keeps me in shape. It's really tough. Like the other day I wrestled Buchanan, and he's big, very big. He's very good. But then it's like, and then Ferrari, guys like that. It's like, they're very good, and it keeps me youthful, but also it is tough to juggle it sometimes because it is tiring. It is like your body that you're going through, but I love to impact the kids, the college guys. And then also at night when I'm coaching my youth club, it's really cool. So
when you started Hawkeye Wrestling Academy, I kind of had this thought in my brain of like, well, yeah, obviously like that totally makes sense. But I also had this thought of like, you have to be somebody extremely special and somebody very well respected within the program and the entire university to have that close of a tie with the University of Iowa wrestling program. Because I know there are definitely other guys that would love to do that would love to do that. And the fact that you've built up that good of a relationship with not only the coaches, but the university in and of itself to like utilize their facilities for your club, right? Like, I feel like that's something that is not super
I'm very thankful.
Common. Yeah.
Right. And so it's, at first I started my club as the Iowa City Wrestling Club. And it was like something that I did that Tom was like, hey, we need a youth club. Like, would you like to do it? Would you like to be the guy? And like, I was like, yeah. Like, so it basically was like an opportunity for me to coach and to go and travel with kids and impact them. And when you get into it, you're like, yeah, I want to be a head coach. And like, but then it's like, then you realize how much like just logistically what is going on. It's like, it is a lot, and you have to have a team around you. I started with 4 kids. So like my first day, I was like, man, I don't know if this is like what is it going to turn into? Yeah. Now I have 132 kids in the club. So it's really cool. Like I'm blessed, and like the kids they all are awesome people. The parents are, I think people don't want to get into coaching because of parents. I disagree. So I think that I can be a mentor to those parents as well. Not tell them how to parent, but like help them like be closer to their kid, because maybe I help them be a coach parent, I guess, as I could say, like not burning them out, or like, how do you talk to them on the ride home and things like that. Just being a good asset to the parents so that the wrestler can have longevity in the sport. But going back to the whole facility thing and like just having it called Hawkeye Wrestling Academy, had to go through licensing and things like that. Cause like, I want to respect the brand, cause like having Hawkeye, cause there's Hawkeye brands all over the place, like Hawkeye Electric and things like that. Like there's things like that, but Hawkeye Wrestling Academy, you got Hawkeye Wrestling Club, the post grad, right? And then the Iowa team, and then the academy for my youth kids. And I think that was the message that I wanted to portray, is like, we have an academy for the youth within the program. Right. And so like HWC guys are helping out. Austin DeSanto comes in and helps out the guys. Stephen Buchanan was in helping out the guys over the summer. Like those like you get kids to see champions and like see how real they are and like relate to them. There's nothing like it. So that's what I wanted to create. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And the fact that Tom Franz came to you is wild.
Yeah. Well, he was like, because I get excited about some things and like, he's like, think about it. He's like, sit down and think about it. But if you want to do it, let's do it. So I ended up doing it. And like, I decided on a Thursday that I'm doing it. And Sunday I had my first practice. Like it was how quick it was. Wow. Yeah. Like I announced it. And like, that's just like, cause I like made the graphic and I'm like, cause all you need is a mat, right? Like you need a mat and a time that you're going to do it. And it's like, who wants to do it? Come and wrestle. Started with 4. And then like, years later, it was probably 2022, like September I started. And then now going into it, this is what we got. So the wrestling's getting better. I'm obviously very, very particular with like how we're getting better as far as the performance wise, but off the mat, that's like obviously what I care about the most. Right. So like, winning state, AU state, and like having the best club in the nation, that's what I obviously want to get to. But creating good people off the mat is what I pride myself on too. So yeah. What's
the wrestling academy that's out in Pennsylvania that Spencer came from? Young Guns.
Yep.
So that's kind of that's your, I don't want to say that's your goal because I don't want to but
they're big. Yeah.
But it's one of those that when people say, I went to Young Guns, most people in the wrestling world would be like, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah. That's what I wanted. Like when you're wearing, like, for example, there was an event I heard that some wrestlers of my club were volunteering at, like to like clean up or whatever, take down, or it was like at a high school. And my kids were and I'm not patting myself on the back, but like, it was good to hear my kids were the ones that stayed after like, the longest and helped out and put chairs up. That like, that's what you should do. Like you should be the one that's like not getting out right away and trying to avoid work. And like, just being a guy that like, when you're a different vibe and like just a different light in society, like I feel like someone should, I hope they tie it to HWA, right? Like where do they, what's different about them? Where do they go? Like what's their mentorship? Like how, like who mentors them? Obviously their parents, but then like, their coach is a huge role model in their life. And I think that I want to be the guy that like molds the kids the right way. So like, it's kind of like you're putting your son into wrestling. It's like, I want to be the potter for him. Cause like, he's like the clay that I'm molding right now. So it's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just for context there. So our son Dax is 4 and we just started sending him to Hawkeye Wrestling Academy in the middle of the season, last season, just cause we had just kind of thought, this kid is a little too violent.
He needs to let it out.
He needs an outlet. He absolutely needs an outlet. And I can't be that outlet. I don't know how to.
Neither can Blair.
Yeah, neither can our daughter.
You, dude. Like, you can keep up with him, but
I don't have the technique. He'll be like, wrestle, then I just pick him up.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, I won.
Throw him down.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not how you wrestle. Yeah, I don't know, bud.
Right. Yeah. So that was kind of like the idea of like, man, we want to put him somewhere where he can have an outlet for that, right? That's like a safe environment and that he's going to be taught when and where that's appropriate,
sure.
Because
yeah, I have some rules in my club, like no cussing. Like I just feel like I want it to be an environment where I will hold you accountable. Like I will be tough on you when you get to that age where I can be. Like for kids, like it's so like, it's just keep it fun. Like, and even when you get older, like you got to find more ways to keep it fun. Cause it gets pretty serious as you get older. And like, Division I, athletics starts coming up and you try to get scholarships and it's like, you kind of lose focus of like why you're actually doing this. And so I love like, that's why I like the Mini Hawks program that Dax is in, because like you see kids that come into wrestling and they're so on fire for it. And they're like, so, how do I explain it? They're very, they're young, they're youthful, like they're very innocent, right? They don't know what they're getting into. Like they don't know, but wrestling's a hard sport. And like, it's how do you keep it fun within the hard parts? Like, and how do you, I tell the older kids, I'm like, you see those little kids wrestling, like that's the fire you still got to have. Like, that's like the fun you still got to have. Like, obviously, like I want you guys to be serious and don't like skip on things that make you a champion, but like, it is a sport and like, just find ways to have fun with it. Like go to tournaments with your buddies and like hang out with them or like just have fun at practice. Like it is serious, but we want to have fun at the same point. So
it was kind of cracking me up at the end of open mat, which was yesterday. And so at the end of their wrestling, they were doing laps and it was like jog. And then Coach Marinelli would say, all right, it's time to sprint. So you sprint a little bit and watching these little kids just not get tired. Meanwhile, like the older kids are like,
they're dead.
Like trying. And the little kids are just like,
they never get tired. No, they never get tired.
Great to see.
And then one kid was like, he was probably 6 years old. He's like, hey, I'll race you up that rope, and the loser has 30 push-ups, and he did 30 push-ups. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. So I was like, I still got it. Like, I look old, but like, I still got it. And it's funny. Like, I think his dad was like, that's 100 push-ups for you for calling him out. No, it's funny. But it was good. Like, it was a fun time. Like, I love coaching. I love the kids because you can set the foundation and then it gets them to where they want to be. So like you always, it happens where you get kids that are 7th, 8th grade and they've learned a certain system and you're like, I don't know why you're doing it like that, like that, but like, let's correct it. Or like, let's see what you've learned that is good. And like, compliment it type of thing. So
I found that it's really awesome to hear you say that, especially when you're in charge of that many kids.
Yes.
Because I actually just had to step away from coaching football at Solon this past year because with 3 kids and my job takes over a lot of my time. But I told Laura, like, that was the one thing I'm going to miss is the kids. Yeah. Because like I could tell you how to run a curl. I could tell you how to run it out. Like, I can do all the
same with a double leg and a single leg.
Like you can talk about it, you can do it, but like, what's that kid going to be like after? Is he going to come back and be like, hey, can you write a letter of referral for me?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely, I would.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of relationship you want to build.
Right.
But I think it kind of goes back to the best part of your practice was the very end about how you brought everybody in prayer. Like that was really cool for me to see. Has that been kind of strong the whole time, or is it something you got introduced to like middle school, high school?
My faith has been important to me. Really, it elevated when I met my wife, because when I met Mariah, her Bible was falling apart, which is like a good sign. Like it was like, she was always using it, which is really good. She was taking notes and things like that. And she was just on fire. She still is. She runs, she's gotten really busy. Like you said, like you're busy. She would run a Bible study with the girls. It was called WOW. So Women of Wrestling, like the girlfriends and the wives would come on Wednesday night and they would like do Bible study. So cool. It was really cool for them to have a community. But yeah, she was just really big in her faith. Eli was as well. My wife had a brother, Eli, who passed away in 2018 in a car accident. He wrestled at Wisconsin. But he, like where he placed his faith, I mean, I'm just a firm believer, where he is now. Like it gives me hope and it gives me some joy knowing like just where he was like on his path. I kind of wanted to emulate that. And Eli wasn't like the best wrestler. He was a state champ in high school, but when you went to Graham High School and you weren't a 4-time state champ, like that's the expectation. So like David Taylor, I don't know if you know who that is, but he went to my high school. Okay. So like he was an Olympic champ. So he wrestled at Penn State, but like I just, the tradition of like Graham and was wrestling. And like, it was just like the whole sole focus. But then Eli had just that aura about him that I wanted to have. Like it just, wrestling wasn't his true meaning in life. And like that really helped me have perspective that faith is very important and putting God first. And then when I got to college, I did Athletes in Action. And Nathan Burak, who wrestled at Iowa, was like my biggest mentor. I still talk to him almost every day. He was a guy that pretty much discipled me and like kind of got me equipped. And so Athletes in Action, they call it equipped, where it's like you learn to lead Bible studies, share your testimony, make disciples and things like that, and just really have an understanding of what the gospel is. So like the KGP, like knowing God personally, that's just like Christ died for you. We're sinners. What are you going to do about it? Like he was raised from the dead. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to believe in him? So knowing that God loves me is very important. I want to share that to the kids. I will never push my faith on the kids. Like that's like something that I'm very big in, is like, it's obvious. I don't have the power to change your heart, is what I'm trying to say. Is like,
we don't close the deal. Like I heard this on a different podcast of like, it might be presented to them, but it's up to God if he's going to close the deal.
Yeah. And it is my job, because I feel like I could be the only person that like they hear about God. Like I could be the only guy that they hear God from, right? Like I could be the only person. So that is my job to maybe decipher it the right way, so it doesn't push people away, or like, you need to do this, or like you need to love a certain way. And it's like, cause I'm a sinner, but Christ died for me and he loves me. So what am I going to do about it? And like, it's a free gift of grace that I don't have to buy and I don't have to earn. And like, you don't have to win matches to earn his love. And like, that can allow you to wrestle free. So that I think ending in prayer is very important, just cause to speak life into kids right when they leave. Cause like they go through a hard workout and then it's like, okay, where am I going? I'm going to prayer, right? Whether you believe in God or not, like whatever, wherever you place your faith, like I just tell kids, like, if you don't believe in God, just meditate, like just think about your wrestling, or like think about whatever you want to think about that. Like, but while I'm praying and praying over the kids, it's like, I obviously pray for their school that they do it at a high level. We check grades. So be ready for that. So like at the first of every month, it's like they need to keep their grades up. But I just pray that they have the soul that obviously will last forever. Right. So like whether they like know what that means, like they believe in Christ, like they believe in God, and not only they believe in him, but they honor him and do it changed by the Holy Spirit. Right. They're transformed, right? Because there's a lot of people that believe that he was real and things like that, but they don't give their life to him. And I think that kids just hearing that, it maybe would spark up a conversation like, hey, what does this mean to you? And things like that. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I'm really passionate about it.
Yeah.
I try to use my club as my ministry. Like I was even talking to my wife, like, I want to like start a church someday. Like I want to do that. I want to get into ministry. And then she's like, this is your ministry. I'm like, that is true. That is true. It's powerful. So I at camps. So I do a summer camp every year in Iowa City. I give a Bible to every kid. I don't care what it costs. So this year we had 183 kids at my camp and every kid got one. So like, and it was cool because they got the whole Bible, not just like the New Testament, but they got like the Old and the New Testament. So they know like where we're coming from, like how this all happened and like what's going on. So just super passionate about that.
Yeah. I think sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I think one of the coolest things too about that is, and you said this about Eli, is just the way that you try to be is like you want your kids to be, is that you want to not only like preach the word and, pray and like, get all of that message sent to them, but then also live in a way in which they say, what's different about that guy?
Yes. Yeah.
What is it about the kids that do stay after that help to pick up the chairs and the things and what's different about that? And it's like, well, let me tell you about it, and I think that's really important.
Spirit. Yeah. If somebody like patience, gentleness, self-control, and I'm trying to work on that with my daughter. It's like, she's not patient, really. She's not gentle sometimes. It's like, to me specifically, but like, I just think that, like, I don't know, like just being a different light. I think I think the world and media wants us to believe that the world's worse than it is, or like it's so bad. It's like we're actually better than what the media says, and like people can relate on levels that people probably don't think of. And when you're, I don't know, just when you involve something like Christ, like I think that it's just very important for me to walk the walk and not just say it. So like you said,
when it comes to these high intensity sports. Like D1 athletics is obviously one thing, but even the guy who's going and running at Wartburg or whatever it is, I think the fact that you were able to say, yes, wrestling is as important as it is in my life, but it's not the only reason I live.
Right.
That's the toughest part when it comes to sports and athletics, because you do nothing other than you go to school, but you do nothing other than wrestling.
You think about it all day.
Correct. Like you're thinking, okay, we were talking off air of like, okay, my recovery is huge.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of your body there, diet. Like, when am I going to go to sleep? So because I know when I got to wake up in the morning, how do you not make that the idol? And I think it's really important to get the message across that that's not the main reason, although you are given gifts to do these things. And that you can do it to glorify him in those ways. We had Stephen Buchanan on talking about the same thing.
Oh yeah, he's a man. I want him to. I'm trying to get him on the HWA staff. So we'll see. We'll see what he.
We'll try to get a good.
He's competing right now, so it's tough. Like I've tried that. It's really hard, and you can do it. You can do it, but it's tough. But to your point, like my wife's dad, my father-in-law, obviously has a really good quote, and it's his saying is keep the main thing the main thing. And some people are like, what is that? What does that mean? The main thing is Jesus, and keep him the main thing, right? So like keep the main thing. So like, and also my wife is always asking me, did I pray about it? Did you pray about it? So surrounding yourselves with people, I always tell the kids, like, if you are hanging around people, you're probably going to end up like them or be like them at some ways. But also if you're around people that need to be lifted up, lift them up, like love them and care for them. But if they're doing the wrong things, don't go down to their level, but surround yourselves with people that can hold you accountable within Christ, right? If you don't believe in what I believe in, I maybe can't hold you accountable on the same account, right? So like the 10 Commandments or things like that the Bible says, if you don't believe in it, like I can't come at you. I can't hold you. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't resonate the same. So I try to read the athlete, like what does he maybe believe in, or what does he want in his life, and what does he want in his career? Because certain athletes you can kind of push a little bit more, and then some you got to kind of like just handle a little bit differently. So I think reading athletes is very important. But along with the faith thing, like Stephen Buchanan, we've had a lot of good dialogue with him being here, and he's only been here for a short amount of time. But just knowing that he's there, and like that's a really good guy and a man of faith, and we got a lot of guys like that on the team at Iowa. It's really cool. So
I feel like when you were in college, which is when we were in college for the most part, right?
Kind of.
What year did you
overlapped.
graduate high school?
13.
I was 16.
I was gonna say when I heard you say you were 27 the other day, I was like, because you said it last night, right? I was like, he's that much younger than me, but
that much.
What year were you born?
94.
I was 98.
Okay, so that's
not too bad.
That's
not
But
too
when you
bad.
think about college, like that's an entire.
I'm telling you,
college.
I look older than I am. I look right.
I won't say that.
Okay,
You
good.
said
No.
that.
I try to be youthful. Like I try to be like, but
you got the Jordans on.
I know I got the
Jordans.
Jordans. Yeah, the threes. Yeah. I try to be somewhat youthful. So
No, but I feel like maybe talking about your faith and bringing that into like even just like press conferences, right? Like post match, whatever that looks like. That wasn't super popular in the way that it is now. But I do specifically remember the first time you walked out in the Jesus Train shirt. And I feel like that was kind of a new thing at the time for an athlete to be that forward about their faith. Do you feel like that was kind of a catalyst in some way, shape, or form? Maybe just within the program?
Yeah, I think so. I think to everyone watching, like there was a Jesus Train shirt that I actually got from my high school coach made it like when I was real young, and then because he's a man of God and he coaches from a spirit of like God and things like that. Like he's a really big man in his faith, but he made this shirt and then Eli wore it a lot, and then I got it from him. So like I started wearing the Jesus Train shirt a lot, and then every match in high school I wore it before every match, not to like gain the win or like to be victorious, but to obviously put his name on the biggest platform and to like show him that, like to show people like maybe like you see like Tim Tebow with the John 3:16, like how that was a super cool story about how he like threw for however many yards and things like that. Like that's people when they Google it or who is this Jesus guy? Like, and I think that most people know like the older generation, but the young kids that are watching you walk out of the tunnel or things like that like they see Marinelli's a Jesus follower. That's pretty cool. Like that's really cool. Like obviously like he wins, but like I think it's even cooler to be a man of God. It honestly holds you to a higher standard. So when people think, oh, I'm going to be a Christian and my life's better, it's not ultimately like how it happens, right? So like I think that your joy and your hope is different, right? So like I have maybe joy in the midst of pain and suffering or like death in a family, but I'm going to have a calling that like, I'm going to have to pick up my cross every day. Like I'm going to have to lay down my feelings for my wife. Like, cause I do love her. I'm called to love her like the church, So I think that, I just wanted to put him on the highest platform and give people a chance to know who I am just in that 30 seconds of me walking out. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So then you talk about walking the walk, and we'll kind of wrap it up here in just a bit. We don't want to take too much of your time. I know you got a lot going on.
You're good.
But you talk about walking the walk. When you decided to retire and hang it up, what was that like? How did you deal with that in terms of like your identity?
Really tough. Yeah.
And how that felt?
I still think like it's very tempting to come back out of retirement. So it's just to like the public, like I do wrestle with the college guys like almost every day. And I'm not in the best shape in my life and what I was when I was training, but I talk to people about it all the time. Like when you retire, you kind of get better than you like, not better, but you're more free. You don't have really the pressure of like making weight and things. So you kind of perform a little better in the room. But as far as like the identity part, like it is tough because it's like, that's all you've done. And it's like, now it's like my calling, I feel like is obviously coaching, but it is tough because you do have a desire to compete, but it's like, okay, am I still holding on to that like thing that maybe isn't what I need to do? Or it's just like kind of selfishly, I want to go out and compete for an Olympic gold medal. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Right. But like just having like, what is your motivation and like, where's your heart at? Right. With it. And I think that like checking yourself is super important. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I am tempted to, a lot of times to come out of retirement. So
would you? Oh,
we'll
you're actually still thinking about it.
We'll see. Like,
okay.
we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
I won't push too much on.
I do these hard workouts and then some of my former teammates or even guys on the team are like, are you competing? I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So
if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready.
That's what I tell. Yes. And I tell the kids in my club, like it's a lot easier to get to stay in shape than to get back in shape.
Yeah.
Right. And so like for me, if I stay away for 3 to 4 months or whatever, I'm going to be really out of shape. But if I keep at it, stay in shape, it's a lot easier.
Talk to your wife that had a baby.
I know.
Trying to get back in shape after that. Forget it.
She did.
It's so
she's
hard.
A champ. She's a champ. She'll never work. She'll wake up at 5 a.m. and get workouts in.
Does she really? Good for her.
Because it's hard to do it. Right? Like it's hard. I understand. Like as her job demands, like it's really hard. Because when she comes home from lunch, she wants to eat and just decompress. And then at night she has, we take care of Lillian and things like that. So it's really tough.
Yeah.
So
your wife is fantastic, by the way.
Thanks.
And I would have loved to have her on the podcast. So
she talked about it. She's like, she's like, what's going on? Where am I at? I'm like, no.
What?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me? She totally could have joined us.
She was busy today. No, we'll do another one.
We'll do another one.
Yeah. And she's really, she's got a lot of good stuff, a lot of good wisdom. Yeah. I'm glad I got her in my life. So,
I would love that. And I'm sure she's got some pretty good stories.
Oh, yeah. Embarrassing stories of me, probably. So it's good.
Okay, last one. Was that kind of a hard balance because she was director of ops when you were still wrestling? Yeah. Was that kind of weird or was it fine?
It was the best. I think it was awesome because she's so natural in that role. She's very organized. She's very hard on herself. So like she wants to really do a good job. And that's why I think Tom's found the best director of ops he could have. She's very organized and does things well. And so, but just having her on the same schedule as me and like traveling with the team is just really nice. Yeah. I obviously wouldn't stay like because we were married when I was in college. I wouldn't stay with her like on competition, like because you got to focus, right? Yeah. So she didn't even really want me to stay because like she's like, I want you to win. Like I don't want to like steal your focus. So like at away trips and things like that. So but yeah, it was really nice. It was really, I think it was really tough for her, obviously, because she wanted me to win and seeing me not win, it's like kind of makes me emotional thinking about it. Cause like I'm replaying the national tournament in my mind and like her being there in the tunnel and like just a lot.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of like, we've been together since day one, like 2011. So it's a long time.
14 years.
Yeah. 15 next year, right? Yeah. 15 in March. And then it's like, we were married in 2019 and then had Lillian a couple years ago. So
that's so great.
She's the best.
Well, yeah. And she's watched you and been with you through all of that, right? Yeah. Through all the ups and downs.
28 stitches.
Yeah. Yes. All the competition.
Yeah.
All
I've hurt my knees. I hurt my labrums and she's just, she was there and she's always been there and she always will be. And it's great. She's just, she's honestly a little bit too tough. Not too tough for me, but like, she's always like, she wants me to compete. Like she sees that I still got the fire but she knows that I love my youth club and it is tough to do both. Like, because when you come out of retirement, it's like, you know what it takes to be a champion. So like, it takes your time, it takes your energy, it takes like everything. And, so we'll see if it's best, because it just takes a lot on your family too. You're maybe going overseas and like I was going to Poland, I was going to Nice, France. I was going to all these places to compete. And as a white, like we had a kid at the time. So it's like, it's really tough. Like it's really tough. And she would have to travel with us and Lillian would like it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
She totally would love it.
I know.
The memories you guys would
She went to the Olympics with
cool.
us last year to watch Spencer. That was a whole trip. It
was
tough. We took Lillian I don't know, a year old. It was really tough.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Watching Spencer wrestle with a 1-year-old was really tough.
That's an experience.
Yeah.
Did she have the big like earmuffs on?
Yeah, I think for maybe, but she kind of got used to it. She's pretty tough.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, if anybody, just a little fun trivia fact, our daughters were born on the same day in 2023.
Yeah.
Yep. May 25th.
Cool. May 25th.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Alex, this was so good.
Yeah.
It's great.
And we're going to do this again and Mariah's going to join us.
She needs, yes.
It's going to be wonderful.
Do we have another mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thumbs up.
Of course we do. It's going to be great.
Cool. If not, I'll buy her one. Buy you guys one.
We need to get it on order.
We'll get another one.
Cool.
Yeah, that'll
Thanks
be awesome.
for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
And you know what? We do need to do this again because we didn't even get into it, but we got to get a little overview of the Iowa wrestling team this year. So
I know.
Yeah.
They're going to be looking good. They're tough.
I believe it.
They're tough.
That's exciting. All right, Alex. Well, we'll see you when you come out of retirement. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Thanks. All right. Well, hey, Talkin Hawks fans, we are so excited about our newest sponsor of the podcast, and that is Stack Wellness Cafe. Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Go.
Stack Wellness Cafe is fast, healthy food that you can grab on the go. It is protein shakes, bowls, and all kinds of other things to help you hit your protein goals for the day. Everything is made better.
I bought it. I go there. I'm going to drink it.
Well, truthfully, Matt goes there like every other day. I'm pretty sure you come home with a stack protein shake almost every single day.
If you knew about it, you'd do it too.
All of their food is cooked locally and fresh and is delivered to each location for maximum quality and flavor. Okay, it's delicious. Wouldn't you say, Matt?
Nothing brings fans together on game day like great pizza and good company. At Marquee Pizzeria in the Iowa River Landing, we fire up fresh wood-fired pies, served ice-cold drinks, and create the perfect spot for fans of all ages. Whether you're out with friends or making it a family night, Marquee Pizzeria is the place to celebrate before or after the game. Grandma's Hands is my favorite. Find us in Coralville at the Iowa River Landing District. Go Hawks. I love Estella's because it's fresh. From fresh grilled steak to the salsas to the fresh pressed tortillas. I love Estella's because it's made there right in front of you and it's quick and it doesn't feel like fast food. It's fresh food made quickly.
We both love Estella's because it's made with love. They put a lot of pride in their food and customer service, and they're locally owned. Fresh food, made quick, and with love. Check out Estella's today. Okay, welcome back, Alex. He is a man of many words.
Yeah, you didn't listen to that on 1.5 times speed. That was regular speed. I listened to it just to make sure everything looked good. And yeah, he talks pretty fast.
Yeah,
Had a lot to say.
He has a lot to
also,
say.
I can't think of Alex Marinelli without thinking about the PA saying his name when he would enter the mat.
No, sure, go ahead.
Alex Marinelli. And it was just like, he's unbelievably cool.
I'm trying to think of what his walk-up song was. I can't remember what it was. I don't know. I'll have
He's
to look
changed
that
it up a couple times.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyway.
Back in Black at the time, he talks about it in the interview. But
Yeah, that was a great interview. That was super fun. And just a little breath.
and we're
of-
wrestling starting.
Yeah, wrestling is starting. Got to throw in a couple of those in there. Hopefully get some men's basketball players here pretty soon too. Bennett Sturts would be fun. Chat with him. We shall see. We shall see. Okay. It is time now to get into USC. Another team that's not on my sweatshirt.
Ugh.
I'm not accepting it.
Ugh.
Not doing it. But it is time now for the Laura segment brought to you by Big Grove. So Matt, here's some lore from USC. Okay. So, I mean, you obviously know about the rivalry between USC and UCLA. Everybody knows about this, right? Okay. So they have Tommy Trojan, which that's just kind of like his nickname. It's actually the Trojan statue that's in the center of campus. A really cool statue. Yes.
Tommy Trojan?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound intimidating.
Well, it's not the official name of it is the Trojan Shrine. But
okay,
they
that
just call
sounds
him,
way better.
They just call him Tommy
I
Trojan.
mean, I was just thinking like intimidating a Trojan warrior and then you name him Tommy.
Either way.
I can't imagine like, get him, Tommy. Like,
Tom. Anyway, all right. He is the unofficial guardian of the Trojan spirit. He's a bronze warrior that was modeled after 5 real USC football players back in the 1920s. So they took 5 different players and then I guess took different body parts and applied it to the statue.
Okay.
Anyway, well, they have prank wars during their rivalry week with UCLA. And so UCLA students will come over and try to do stuff to the statue and paint it different colors. They've painted it their colors, like the blue and the yellow.
Wait, so UCLA students actually go to their campus?
Yes.
It's almost like the Cannon.
Yeah, exactly. And then they prank them. One time they cut power to the statue's security lights. They've even stolen parts of the campus symbols or left giant UCLA letters across the campus, like on the lawn or like next to the statue. Like it's a really big thing. And USC isn't innocent either. They'll go over and do some stuff too to their stuff. But anyway, so they have like a watch, like an official group. They're called the Trojan Knights. It's a spirit group. It's one of like the oldest spirit groups on campus, I guess. But it's
Define
the Trojan
spirit group.
I don't know. I have no idea. But they took matters into their own hands. Like, I guess they've been doing this for decades. While during rivalry week, they'll wrap Tommy Trojan in duct tape and plastic. And I actually have like a picture that we can throw up here too, that it looks like a mummy to like keep it so he can't get attacked, I guess. And then they just set up camp and they sleep by the statue so that it can't get pranked. Isn't that so interesting?
Gotta take care of Tommy.
Gotta do it. Just a little more on Tommy Trojan. So like I said, he was built in, 1920s, 1930s, somewhere around there. And that was during like the Great Depression. And it was $10,000 is how much that thing cost. And so that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money now, but back then, $10,000 for the Trojan Shrine. And they give him a name like Tommy.
That's what I'm
Just
saying.
kidding.
No offense to any Tommies out there.
Yeah. There's also a don't step on the seal superstition. So I guess in the middle of campus, there's a university seal that's embedded in the ground by Bovard Auditorium. And students believe that stepping on it before graduation brings bad luck. Like you could fail a class or not graduate on time. I would imagine like a lot of people with their buddies will be walking by that seal and they just kind of nudge them to have to like to step on it. All right, a couple more here. USC is Hollywood's favorite campus. Movies like Forrest Gump, The Social Network. The Social Network, have you ever seen that?
I don't know if I have.
I love that movie. It's about the creation of Facebook. John, have you ever seen that?
I have not seen it.
It's the best movie ever, isn't it? It's so good. And then Legally Blonde was also filmed on that. And parts of Star Trek were filmed at USC. Have you seen Star Trek, John? What would be filmed there? Oh, you're not that type of nerd. Okay. I'm just kidding. Understood. Good distinction. All right. Let's see here. It says that the university's cinematic ties run deep. It's home to the first ever film school in the United States, which was found in 1929 with support from Walt Disney and Charlie Chaplin.
Disney's showing up again.
Disney, get out of here. All right. USC's film school has more Oscar winners than any other university, which obviously makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the School of Cinematic Arts boasts hundreds of Academy Award winners and nominees. Among its alumni are George Lucas from Star Wars. Star Wars fan, John? Yeah. Okay. Have you seen Star Wars, Matt?
No.
Me either.
Like bits and pieces.
We should do that.
No.
Ron Howard. What's that?
Well, wasn't it 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3? Isn't that how they originally came out? They didn't come out with the first Star Wars movie. They came out with the fourth one when it first got released.
Yeah, he's like, that's it. The logic doesn't, it makes no sense.
It's not logicking. Logicking?
Okay. All right, let me get back to this. All right, like I said, Academy Award winners. George Lucas from Star Wars, Ron Howard, A Beautiful Mind, which I don't think I've ever seen that either, and Shonda Rhimes, who came up with Grey's Anatomy. Shonda Rhimes. What else does she have?
What else does she rhyme?
Shondaland. She has Bridgerton, I think. You love Bridgerton, Matt.
Yeah. Love me some Bridgerton.
I love Bridgerton.
Yes.
All right. That's all my lore from USC. A very storied campus. There were some ghost stories too that I found, but I'm tired of doing the ghost stories. Everything's like, oh, on this dorm, you can't go on the second floor because blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's all kind of the same. So now that you know all the fun facts and lore about USC, tell me about their team.
Well, one of the more storied programs, I think, ever. A lot of national championships have been over there at USC. Kind of when I was growing up, it was like Matt Leinart, Lendale White, Reggie Bush. Like a lot of really good players came out of there.
Right.
Matt Leinart obviously on Big Noon Kickoff now. Reggie Bush played in the league for a while. One of those things that, like, again, when I was growing up, I looked at USC and like they are always 1 or 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just kind of what it is. Then they kind of fell off there for a little bit, going through some coaching changes. Pete Carroll left USC. And then Lincoln Riley has now taken over. And Lincoln Riley was at Oklahoma and transferred to USC. Brought Caleb Williams with him, who was the quarterback at Oklahoma at the time. Beat out Spencer Rattler, who got $1 million NIL deal before he left and went to South Carolina. And then Caleb Williams followed Lincoln Riley to go out to USC, where he played for a year. And obviously now he's the Bears starting quarterback.
Yes.
It was one of those things that Lincoln Riley was kind of known as the quarterback guru. Knows how to scheme up to help his quarterback, essentially. And it's no exception this year. Their quarterback, Jordan Mailata, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Really good player. Not quite Dante Moore, but another really good player. Really good throwing the football. 17 touchdowns to 6 picks. They take advantage of a lot of good skill guys on the outside. Doesn't run the ball as much, but he still has 38 carries, which is I think half of what their leading rusher has. So he will run it, which is actually how he helped beat Nebraska. They barely won 21-17 a couple weeks ago. He was really off throwing the football, but his legs helped propel them to that victory. Usually USC games are a shootout because Lincoln Riley's an offensive guy, quarterback guy. I just want to put up points, and inevitably defense, for whatever reason, just allows that many points. A lot of their games are like 40-30 so far this year. I think they're averaging almost 40 points a game. But just an offense that churns out points. So what that means is we got to slow the game down, which is what we did to Oregon to a point. Try and slow the game down, which is Iowa's normal game plan of basically, if we hold the ball, you can't have it. And so if you only get the ball 5 times, we know we're going to stop you at least 2 out of those 5, if not 3 out of those 5 from getting any points. You might get a field goal, might get a touchdown, but typically a field goal, as in Oregon's case. So how do we slow the game down to limit possessions so you don't score 30 points on us? That's usually Iowa's way of playing. That being said, USC's defense is not very good. Pass defense, I think, is okay, but run defense is kind of where they've given up most of their yards, which obviously plays into Iowa's hands, right? Especially with Gronowski at quarterback. He didn't run a ton against Oregon. I think he only ran like 2 or 3 times that I can remember of like actually watching him run.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When I was watching him run the couple of times that he did it look like they were going for his knees when they were tackling him, or was that just me?
That might have just been you.
I took offense to it.
But okay.
Sorry, continue.
Well, no, let's play this out here. If I'm 240 pounds, are you going to hit me up top? Or are you going to hit my legs so I stop running?
I don't know.
You're not going to hit me up top. If I'm 240 and I lower my shoulder, forget about it.
Just stay away from his knees, okay? That's all I'm saying. Trip him with your foot. Yeah.
Anyway, so I this is not going to be a high scoring game. At least I don't envision it to be. As much as USC wants to play that way, I think we're going to play such the opposite unless we get some really big gashes in the run game. We're finally starting to throw the ball downfield a little bit. Did against Minnesota, did late against Oregon, even in torrential downpour is what I'm going to call it. Cold, rainy, all those things. Now we're going out to the coast. I know you'll give us your weather update later.
You know that's what I'm doing right now.
I know that's what you're looking up. But I think this is another great opportunity. I said before we still have a chance to get 10 wins. Maybe not Big Ten championship. I don't know if we're on the outside looking into the playoff, depending on how the rest of the season goes. Now, here's a really weird scenario. I think Indiana and Ohio State are kind of they're in the Big Ten championship. I think that's kind of, I know they don't have a very tough end of schedule based on opponents' win-loss records. So if we just say, for argument's sake, those 2 go, the Big Ten might get 2 more. Now, USC and Oregon still have to play, and we still play USC.
Mm-hmm.
So if we beat USC, they'd have 3 losses. USC beats Oregon. Oregon only has 2 at that point. They wouldn't have 3 losses. They would have 2. But then USC would have 3 because they lost to us. We would have 3 if we were able to win out. So Oregon probably still goes, and then it's down between us and USC. And if we beat them head to head, I think we'd have an opportunity if they end up taking 4 from the Big Ten. There's a lot of things here, right?
Yeah.
This is like, what is it? Always Sunny with a chance of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Where they've got like all those things, and he's like freaking out, and he's like pointing. Can we get that up there, please? He's like, oh, well, if they do this and they do this, so.
I just have to say, I love that for whatever reason, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is always on your brain because you almost said Always Sunny with a Chance of Meatballs.
You're right. I did.
Sorry.
There's a lot of things from that movie that relate.
You reference that movie way too much. It's so funny. Between that and Hot Chicks, those are your favorite movies.
Hot Chicks?
Is that true? Is that true?
What is it? What's the
Is it Hot Chicks? Wayne's Brothers is your face.
White Chicks. Hot Chick is another movie with
I don't even know that movie.
Hot Chick with Schneider. Rob Schneider?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that
know
movie.
one.
Big Rob Schneider fan.
I know.
It's an
Rob
older
Schneider
movie.
but
It's an older movie. It's funny. But yes,
I haven't referenced White Chicks for so long.
you know it by heart.
I know it better than I should,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I haven't referenced it in a long time.
Yeah, because Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is
That has
over.
taken precedence.
And I haven't seen that in probably 10 years. All right. Sorry.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
so with that in mind, I still think, and you can call me an optimist, and I'm sure the TikTok comments are going to go crazy.
This guy's on drugs.
There's still a way I think we find ourselves in there if USC beats Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
So we obviously have to take care of business against USC.
See, it's either Matt talking or the Easy Eddie he's got in his Talkin Hawks class right there.
Hey, chill out. But I think that there's something here that this is another opportunity to go out and play a really good team. You know, Coach Ferentz talks about it all the time, playing meaningful games in November. We did play one. Unfortunately, it was a heartbreaker. But you can't let Oregon beat you twice. There's another really big game around the corner. Like I said, they've got a really good quarterback. He's kind of as they go. And although Oregon, I don't think they did anything real tricky against us like I expected. You know, they did a bunch of stuff against Wisconsin, did a fake punt, did an onside kick, stuff like that. They didn't really pull that against us. USC also does that. They threw in their quarterback wearing their punter's number.
Is that legal?
So I've thought about it. We gave our punter was always 16, which was CJ's number.
Mm-hmm.
So now we never threw CJ out there as like a fake punt, mainly because they'd probably recognize the hair before he cut it. But like Dylan Kidd was 16. Connor Cornbrath was 98, and then he left. Kidd was 16. Bomb Squad. Why am I blanking on his name? The guy who did a flip against Michigan, got the personal foul call. Ron Caluzzi.
Yep. Thank you.
Wow, that's a pull from the yeah. Wow.
Teamwork.
He was 16 as well. So like we've given them numbers of our quarterbacks, but we've never like run CJ out there to run a fake. They gave their quarterback 80 to go out there and do it. So it's not like that's his natural number. And then they converted a fourth down against Northwestern.
Yeah, I feel like if he was always 80 or 6, like right with the 16s, I could see where that would make sense. But that to me seems like kind of shady.
I mean, and that's kind of what the thing, there was somebody going off on Twitter that should be a penalty. I mean, it's almost like KJ Parker putting on 32, but that's strictly so that we don't have 2 number 1s on the field.
Yeah, but
right?
He's not trying to play a position.
Correct. Correct. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's okay, but I think that's one of the things that was kind of like out there of like, why would you give your quarterback 80 to go out there and run the fake?
Yeah.
But you could say it's within the confines of the rules. Like they're just playing. So
backyard football.
It's one of those things you just got to be on top of what you got to. You just got to take care of what you got to take care of. And I said going into the game, I was going to have to be really disciplined. They're going to have to know, like end arounds and stuff like that. Know who's coming into the game. Understand how it goes. It was actually there was only one time where they got tricky on us. Oregon did. And it's where it was like 3rd down and 1, I think. They were in our red zone. It was 12-7 at the time. I think it was 12-7 at the time. And they were going to do a fake pop pass. And I was like, don't sleep, because the tight end on the outside, I could tell he was going to go. He wasn't run blocking. And Dante Moore tripped over the guard and like went down, thankfully. Yeah. And then they ended up kicking a field goal. But like something like that will take place on Saturday. There's going to be some sort of gimmicky stuff, but USC doesn't go under center a lot of shotgun, let the quarterback kind of dictate what happens. And again, that's a Lincoln Riley type offense. So I kind of see a similar game to Oregon, although this team isn't, they don't live or die based on like the strength of their defense. Like Oregon does have a very strong offensive line and defensive line, and we saw that. That's not necessarily USC's MO. USC's MO is more spread it out and go. Oregon can actually run the ball really effectively downhill. I just don't see USC doing that as well. Only time will tell though, right? I mean, Oregon came out and again, we had a real opportunity. So how do we bounce back from that loss? Actually watch the tape constructively, learn what needs learned, and then move on. Because I think Coach Lester's going to continue to dial up a lot of incredible plays, a lot of great scheme. Coach Parker's going to get those guys right on defense. And now you got to go face another really good opponent to get to 10 wins. And like I said, there's an outside chance. Again, I don't know how likely it is with 3 losses to make the college football playoff. Probably not very likely. But still to finish within the top echelon of 18 teams to be one of the top 4, would still be a really cool thing.
Definitely. What do you think if you were to guess, what would our ranking be?
We're probably not going to be in the top 25.
Really?
I would like to be. I would like to think that we're still like 22 because we lost to a top 10 team on a last second field goal. But a 3 loss is just one of those things that hurts when it comes to college football playoff rankings.
It's just a narrative, please.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree that there are some teams that I'm like, why are they there? But at the same time, it's kind of up to the committee. With 3 losses, it's really tough. I would love to stay there because the teams that beat us outside of Iowa State, the Indiana and Oregon, are within the last minute and a half of the games of both of those. And just one of those things.
Okay. Well, let's look at the weather. It's going to be 65 and sunny on Saturday.
Yeah, very different compared to what we just played in.
That sounds lovely. Do we have a game time yet?
2:30.
2:30.
2:30.
Which what time is that here?
2:30.
I mean, what time is that there? Shut up.
1:30. It's only an hour.
Oh, it's only an hour difference?
I'm pretty sure.
I hope you're wrong. Is it actually only 1 hour? Is it a 1 hour difference, John? You do a lot of traveling.
It should be.
To be fair, USC is not in Los Angeles.
No. Where is it?
Is it San Diego?
No.
UCLA is in Los Angeles.
No, it's Matt. I hope I get this right here. USC, University of Southern California, Los Angeles, California.
Oh.
You got so mad.
No, because one of my
What a
favorite things
turd.
when you talk confidently about something and you're wrong.
How do you know that wasn't a joke? You literally talked about Los Angeles and Hollywood during your lore segment. You think I wasn't paying attention?
Yes.
No, of course I heard it.
Okay. Well, that wasn't even mean. Stop, because now I feel like people are mad at me. All right, we shall wrap this up now. John, you had a couple of stats for me and I was going to rattle them off, but I would rather you just do it because you have the exact right ones. We just have some shout outs to all of our people that have been listening on Spotify and like overall downloads. Is that right?
Yeah. So not including YouTube, which YouTube is definitely the biggest platform, but Spotify and iTunes, we just hit 1,000 subscribers.
Hey,
Woo!
thanks, guys.
And then in the, if you're looking at the podcast as a whole, we will cross over 88,000 downloads soon,
Whoa.
just on Spotify and iTunes.
88,000.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, and on that note, I actually have some comments from the comment section. I thought it'd be fun to share. So I'm going to start off with this one. There was a video that we clipped of you saying that you get asked like, when are you gonna, like, how long are you gonna do this for?
Yeah.
Meaning host of Hawkeye Sports.
Yeah.
Not meaning this.
Yeah. Rob says, you guys are awesome. I love Talkin Hawks. Please never leave.
Oh. Rob,
How kind.
right in the heartstrings. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Yep. And then Jennifer says, next time you get asked that, to just say forever.
Never leaving.
Like on the Sandlot.
I'm not leaving. Well, she says Sandlot. I'm thinking, DiCaprio. Why am I having such bad Wolf of Wall Street?
But she did say, I think you should do it forever, girl.
Oh, that's really nice.
You look and sound great as always.
Oh,
There was one person that commented on last week's episode. I don't have any profound comments, but I just truly enjoy tuning in every week. That was
Oh,
from Hawkeye Girl 2003.
Nice. Thanks for tuning in, Hawkeye Girl.
So then Paul from Matt's Unsung Hero last week,
Mhm.
which was the fans.
yeah.
He says, I never thought I'd be a JB Roofing Unsung Hero. Thanks, guys.
None of this is possible without you guys.
Okay, this last one is from JC. This one's just a tiny bit long, but here we go. Couple episodes ago, you were discussing rain outfit options for Kinnick, and the producer John suggested jeans and a rain jacket. And then you said him and Matt knew nothing about fashion. During the game yesterday, it appeared you were wearing jeans and a rain jacket.
Yes.
It looks like you
Thank
might
you.
owe them an apology.
Thank you, whoever that is. Thank you.
That's
Where's
funny.
the office? Thank you. That. Go ahead. Publicly do it.
I'm not doing that. Because it wasn't a rain jacket, it was a puffer jacket. And the rain soaked right through. I would never be smart enough to wear a rain jacket. No, I'm sorry, guys. You were right. I wore jeans and a jacket. What kind of jeans and a jacket?
I'm very full inside.
That is a plus comment. A plus. That was so good.
That is an in tune fan.
Yes, totally. I also have one more shout out. I still hope he's listening. Derek from Shields.
Derek.
I took all 3 kids to Shields last week, and it's just chaos when I take all 3 because I have Brock in the carrier. The other 2 insist on walking and not sitting in the stroller or in the cart. So it's just a lot. And I'm walking around. Derek walks up and he goes, "Hey, the security cameras and one of my cashiers said that you left one of your car doors wide open out in the parking lot. Just wanted to let you know that." And I was like, awesome. Because walking from the car into the store or the store out to the car is just the worst because no one wants to hold hands. It's and I was like, could somebody go close that for me so I don't have to take them back out to the car? And he's like, yeah, definitely. So, and he's like, by the way, love the podcast. And I said, what's your name? He said, Derek. And I said, Derek, shout out coming to you on Talkin Hawks. Thank you for saving all of my whatever's in my car.
Garbage.
Mostly. And snacks on the floor. Thank you for closing my car door and for letting me know. And thank you for listening to the podcast. And thank you to everybody who's been commenting and who's been listening. I mean, seriously, we couldn't do it's so cheesy, but we couldn't do the podcast without people listening. So just appreciate all of you. And if you aren't listening regularly, hello, make sure you are.
And you can go back. There's some stuff that's time sensitive, like the preview and the recap. But all of our interviews dating back over the last 3 years are available to listen to, whether it be Tori Taylor, Cooper DeJean from season 1.
Yep.
Jan Jensen, Jada Jimphy, just to name a few. There's so many good interviews out there.
Yeah. Go back and look at those. Okay. If you haven't yet, make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. It's the official Talkin Hawks YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when new episodes are coming out. You can also go to Apple, Spotify. Follow us on all social media. Follow us on Spotify, of course. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, if you would. It's the easiest and best way to support the podcast. Yes.
So next week, it's not going to be an entirely long interview. Unfortunately, we got under some time constraints. So leave any of your comments or questions if you made it this far into the episode of this one. Leave some comments and questions. We'll have something up on our social media so you guys can ask us. We'll have an extra segment where we get to talk back to you guys, talk with you guys.
Yes. All right. This episode feels very long and drawn out. I feel like
You're welcome, guys.
Really went on a tangent. Feels like a lot. Sorry, John, that you have to edit all this. It just feels like we just really did it. Okay. That's it. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.